How many times has this happened to you? You log off for the night and your neighbors decide to come investigate your base. And once they see that you're offline, they know that you're the perfect target to raid. They head home only to come right back with enough boom to level your humble abode. Logged off and cozy in your bed, there's nothing you can do to prevent what's about to go down. But what if there was a way to know that your base would be safe even from offline raids? With this brand new setup, you can be sure that the first rocket shot at your base will activate its defenses and you'll immediately be notified. This will give you exactly the time you need to log on and seal everything up before they can get back. But most importantly, it allows you to collect those kits and all that boom from those spineless offline raiders. All thanks to the new Seismic sensor. Welcome back, guys. Today I'm going to be talking to you about the brand new Seismic sensor that just got added, what it can do, and what you can do with it. As you can see, it's an electrical component that gets placed on the wall and you can adjust its range. Adjusting the range determines how close an explosion needs to be to activate the sensor and can be set anywhere from 1 to 30 meters. As you can see here, it's in the level 2 workbench tech tree just underneath the storage monitor and researchable for 83 scrap. Once you learn the Seismic sensor, you can craft more of them for 3 HQM and 1 tech trash. Now for how it works. Every time there's an explosion near it, it produces 1 power to its output, so we're going to have some kind of sensor to detect that, in this case the red siren light. We can start by plugging a power source into the power in of our Seismic sensor, and then the power out of our Seismic sensor to the red siren light. Now we can start showing you some of the explosions that will trigger it. The first one we'll demonstrate is the C4. So once it explodes, we'll see the red siren light go off, indicating that the Seismic sensor has detected it. Pretty much all your conventional raiding tools will set off the Seismic sensor. That includes bean cans, satchels, C4, rockets, explosive ammo, and HEs from the grenade. Interesting thing to note about explosive ammo is that it only seems to set off the Seismic sensor if the explosion actually hits a player-created object within its range, not with the explosive ammo landing anywhere within its range. So you can see shooting the water doesn't do anything, but once we hit the wall, it does actually detect the explosion. It's also worth noting that as of my testing, the MLRS rockets do not trigger the Seismic sensor, so if your base gets MLRS'd, it won't go off. Other non-raiding explosives can also trigger the Seismic sensor. That includes F1 grenades, HV rockets, and mini-copter/scrap helicopter explosions and crashes. With the HV rocket, I can demonstrate the range of the sensor, so as you can see here, hitting the 25 meter target activates it, but once I shoot the 50 meter target, I'm no longer in range and the sensor doesn't get activated. So with that brief overview of the Seismic sensor out of the way, we can show you how to use it for your base. To start off, I'm going to be demonstrating a very simple setup that I would recommend if you just live in a 2x2 or a 2x1, something like that, and you want to be notified if anybody tries to raid your base. All you'll need is a power source, a Seismic sensor, and a smart alarm. Then all we need to do is connect the power source into the power in of the Seismic sensor, and then the power out from the Seismic sensor to the smart alarm. Once we've done that, we can adjust the message on the smart alarm to make sure it gives us some indication that we're being raided when an explosion goes off within the range of our base. For this, you need to make sure that you have Rust Plus connected to the server and the smart alarm paired to your phone. So with that all set up, we can test it by shooting some kind of explosive near the sensor and making sure that the smart alarm gets activated. As you can see, with a narrow range, explosions outside of our base don't set off the alarm, but ones inside do. Like I said, this is a nice, quick, simple setup, just an indicator if you're getting offlined. Now we can move on to something a little bit more complex, and that's going to be a setup that activates turret pods once explosions get set off inside your base, just like what you saw in the intro. We'll start working on this setup by placing a couple electrical branches and a smart switch above one with the Seismic sensor above the other. Above both of those, we place a memory cell. Then we can put down an electrical branch and a smart alarm, as well as the last 2 electrical branches to the right of all of this. The next thing we want to do is place a door controller inside each set of doors leading to our turret pods to make sure it's not visible from the outside of our turret pod. And please excuse my inability to crouch jump in this section. So with everything placed, we're ready to start wiring all our components together. We can begin by connecting our power source to the first electrical branch. Then we connect the branch out to the power in of our smart switch. We'll pass the power out from our first electrical branch to the power in of the next branch. The branch out from this electrical branch gets connected to the power in of the seismic sensor, and the power out goes to the power in of the MEM cell. I'm trying to use different colors here so it's clear what I'm doing. The power out from the smart switch goes to the toggle of the MEM cell, and the power out from the seismic sensor goes to the reset of the MEM cell. The inverted output from our MEM cell goes to our next electrical branch, whose branch out gets connected to the smart alarm. Everything before the pink wire is basically the activation part of our circuit, and everything after the pink wire will be our smart alarm and our turret pods that we want to turn on. Connect the power out from the electrical branch above the smart alarm to the two to the right of it, and make sure you set both of their branch out powers to 11. These branches will power our turret pods by connecting the branch out to the door controller and then the pass-through of the door controller to our turret. Now everything is wired together and we can adjust our sensor range depending on how we want to use this, if it's only going to be on our roof or if we want it to expand to our whole base. So now we can test it and demonstrate that it will only activate if it's within the seismic sensor range, and once it does, the smart alarm gets triggered and both turret pods open. The nice part about this setup is that the turret pods will stay open indefinitely until you close them by using the smart switch. Let's say there aren't explosions going on near your base, but you still want the turret pods open. You can activate it manually by hitting the switch again, which will open them. Just keep in mind that you need to hit the switch 2 times to open and close the pods, but you'll know if they're open or closed depending on whether or not the smart alarm is currently going off. I'm really excited to use this setup in my new bases, and I hope you guys are too. I'm thinking you can have one of each of these kinds of setups near your roof, near your gates, that kind of thing. Please let me know what you do with this. I'm really excited to see. I really hope you guys enjoy the video. If you did, check out some of the other ones on my channel, and if you have any questions or comments, please let me know in the section down below. Have a great day.